Good
All
to
right,
go.
so I think we're just gonna talk like we normally do, but I think a little introduction might be valuable. So, in an attempt to make more authentic content, which I think is just the only way nowadays because so many people out there are faking it and it just is so obvious. And I think that the most valuable content, specifically for us, comes from our most authentic moments.
Yeah, I heard a quote that was like, "You don't have to rehearse the truth," which I just thought was like the best quote ever. Like, I'm just tired of seeing people force content, and like when you just know it's forced. I'm looking at you, fucking Gary V. Not actually, because like a lot of his stuff is like very organic, like him in the car. But like,
Right.
I actually literally don't even watch Gary V. I just use Gary V as like the antichrist for all like, like sin in social media.
Yeah, yeah. And like I'm literally in my pajamas right now. And when it comes to some of our best combos ever, I would definitely say it would be during our coffee conversations. Like even like this, I don't think it needs to be perfect.
No, I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to be organic.
Can you pull the shades up? I'm kind of curious just what that would look like if I can deal with the light. Ha!
No dice?
No dice. No
I'm gonna go
dice.
grab some socks anyway.
All right, cool.
Then I'll be good. Have a combo with you.
We should just post these raw. And then make more content out of it as well. Raw.
Yeah, maybe post it raw. Maybe edit it up a little bit.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, I see just a little bit
Have
of.
our I think it's called like soda light or something like that.
I don't know.
Sadia got it for me.
Yeah,
It's all about the chakra, the throat chakra.
the throat chakra. And look at it just chilling here. Doing
I
its
know
thing.
it was just here.
Yeah, I say we just make this whole table like the podcast table.
I'm for that. I'm definitely for that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome too, because then like when other people come in, just pop a squat.
Yeah. I was talking to our boy Nick, aka Daniel Fairweather, about like content, and I was talking when you guys go to Aruba, I'll probably play some Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I was like, dude, I might stream it, or not stream it, I might just record it and then like make a whole little gaming channel,
Why
then
not?
then it would give me like a little like validation for playing games, because I just like enjoy playing games, and like you were talking about it yesterday, and you're like, when we're on vacation, it's like full fun mode, but you feel like a little anxious about like not doing any work.
Yeah.
And then when we're here, it's like all work mode. And then speaking for me, like I feel a little anxious, like I don't have enough fun. Like not even like fun's not the right word, because like I have a ton of fun. Like we'll go out and we'll do dinners and stuff like that, but I don't have enough like, you know what it is? I don't have enough introvert time. I don't have enough time to just like like I do when I don't, and that's not the right word.
Are you saying
like,
when we're on vacation or when we're home?
No, when we're on vacation or when we're home.
Okay, yeah.
Because like when we're home, it's like work, but then like I don't actually just like do something that like I genuinely like just enjoy with zero reward outside of like video games is a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Like there's no like actual reward. Like I just don't relax and just like take a rip of my vape and just be for a little bit. That's really hard. So it could be nice to just like, implement that a little more, throw a little streaming thing on, and just like I talk to myself. If I was alone here and just like playing a game, I'd be like fucking talking to myself anyway. So it could be kind of
I think
fun.
that'd be very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like we're in slightly different places right now with what we think we need in terms of lifestyle adjustments. You're in a place where you feel you need like a little bit more introvert time, a little bit more full on fun implemented into our day to day when we're here in Boston grinding. I'm like, I want to implement more of my grind, more of my productivity and taking steps towards my larger goals while we're traveling, especially because we're about to embark on such a
Right.
large amount of travel.
Right. Well, I'm saying that too. Like
Yeah.
I think my initial like vacation productivity is already pretty solid. Like I'm
Yeah.
like writing in my journal and like
For sure.
writing songs and working on things like that.
Yeah.
And like when we go to Costa Rica, like I have a nice studio there. I'm bringing the
Yeah.
Sony. I got like a little sound reflection shield. So I have a pretty good studio and I
Yeah.
plan on like full send in that because like
Yeah.
I felt the creative energy I'm gonna get in the rainforest is gonna be pretty cool.
Exactly. Imagine this setup like outside in Costa Rica. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, there's definitely a certain energy like the city has, and
Of
it's
course.
probably not the most like creative, conducive one, which is kind of why I like to be regimented with like I'm gonna get up early at like 5 or 6 because I feel like that almost creates this artificial bubble of creativity, and I think that'll come easier in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And as always, like I'll be focused on one kind of thing, like implementing more work ethic into travel, and you'll be working on something like a little bit more fun
Yeah,
in the home. But realistically, we're kind of both doing those things together at the same time because I could also be better at letting things go when home.
right.
And I think it's just going to be really awesome to be creating content out in Costa Rica and in Aruba too. And
Just everywhere.
yeah, just everywhere, just organically.
I'm just trying to make it
Organically.
authentic and organic.
Yeah, because
like,
that's what I was struggling with too beforehand because I was posting to TikTok every fucking day and it was forced. And
it was forced. Yeah, totally.
like my messages like were meaningful and it's things I resonate with, but it wasn't as authentic as it could be and it wasn't as good as it could be. So
it
I'm
wasn't
not
as fun as it could be. You
Yeah,
weren't having that much fun doing
yes.
it. Like this is a blast, right? Like I'd be doing this anyway.
exactly.
Like when I make content, I want to be like, well, this is shit I'd be doing anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I still want to do the days where like Pat comes over.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And, like we make content. Those are dope because like we scheduled it, we'd be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
But the first like 1 or 2 we did, it was like you gave me a cue. It was like, no, like do it like this, do it like this. And I was like, all right, and I did it like this.
Yeah.
But after I was like, I didn't really feel that good. Like I'm forcing it. And then like I think we did a total of 6. Starting on like the third like topic we did, I was just like my most authentic. I literally remember I went and like I put like a sweatshirt on and I grabbed my hat and I was like, this is how I'd actually be doing it. Like I'm not even comfy right now. I'm in like a fucking flannel. It's like not
I'm
even
literally
com-
in pajamas right
Yeah,
now.
like wasn't even
I was
like,
gonna go
comfy
change. You're like,
flannel.
no, don't.
No, just like I'm not trying to put on a show for anybody.
course,
Like
yes.
I am, but like not at the same time. I want everybody to see me as me, not as like, oh, like this is Daniel Linger. Like no, like this is just me in my element having a conversation with my girlfriend. Nothing else.
It's so cool how the best results and the best content can come from us just having the most fun as well.
Yeah. I mean, that just relates all throughout pretty much everything in life.
Yeah.
Like in business too. Like when I start getting angry at people and I'm just like not having fun, I'm like, all right, like this project's, and you can't just go any moment there's like a lick of no fun, you're just out. But if it's just a repeated thing over and over and over again, you got to be real with yourself and just tap out.
A quote that I've been trying to live by a bit more is, well, there's 2, but the first one is don't think your way through it, feel your way through it. And then the next one is step by step.
Step by step,
And
baby.
I've been loving just instead of thinking a week ahead or a month ahead or getting really stressed out about something that's happening not in the near future and just trusting that's going to work out how it's supposed to. And instead of trying to micromanage things or, just over-plan things, just it's going to happen, It's all going to work out.
Yeah.
It's going to work out one way or another, right? Like, and either way, there'll be something to learn from that. And I think when it comes to feeling your way through things, if you're not feeling excited about what you're doing, specifically if that's your passion project, then it's time to reevaluate how you are really constructing how you...
Yeah, your approach probably isn't spot on.
Exactly.
I know I had that this summer. Like this summer I was very interested in like the separation of the mind and the body. I was also smoking a lot of weed, which
So
I
it's a
think
good place to be.
Yo, it was
Sometimes I love just like
it was a
getting
great place to
super
be.
spiritual, you know.
Oh yeah, no, it was dope, and I'll go back there, and
Yeah.
I'm already working on implementing those things like back
Mhm.
in my life. But that's when I made love. That whole like out of my mind,
Yeah.
only my body
I was
I'm
like,
trusting away.
you made love.
Oh yeah, yeah.
With
No.
who? Was I there?
No. But you did have a hand in that song. But
Oh
that's what
my
that whole thing was
goodness,
about. It
yes.
was like I felt like I was just trying to like create, because I still am, but I was like still very young to like creating music again, and I was like kind of trying to think my way through it, because that's how I did in
Mhm.
business. I would just
Yeah.
like use my mind and think it through. It didn't really work, and then I kind of started getting lit a lot and like just feeling
Yeah.
things out, and like that yielded a lot better results.
There is so much value in just also full sending some fun.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
absolutely.
you know, some trips, like I see Costa Rica being a trip where we're able to make a lot of content and we do have the cameras there. But some trips, like Nashville, for example, like minimal camera, minimal content like this.
No, we had Pat though.
Yeah, yeah, and we got
Yeah.
like an overall experience kind of video shoot, I think. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but that's what I'm
I
expecting.
think it's gonna be gas.
I think it's gonna be really
Yeah.
good too. I think
But-
it's gonna be really good. But sometimes it's just not the vibe, you know? Like we were on a yacht like 4 days ago,
I know.
5 days ago, and neither one of us touched a phone or a camera. Like I don't have anything on my phone.
Not at
Everyone had
all.
to send me stuff. I was
I
like,
know.
I don't have anything
Which is
from
a
this
great way to
yacht.
be.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just lit too.
Every trip has its own vibe. Like Nashville was tons of fun, but I was like journaling in Nashville just because that's the headspace I was
Yeah.
in. But in Florida, I didn't touch my journal.
Yes.
We didn't touch it. In Nashville, I had like song lines come in, and maybe that's because there's Music City.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I was on my shit. Florida, I was just like, New Year. Sousa said it best, where he's like, I think my intention for all this is like, just enjoying the final moments of 2021 and going into 2022 with a bang. And that's
Yes.
really what we did for an extended
Yes.
period of
Oh.
time.
It was so great. It was so great. And it's awesome too because now I'm like charged up again. I'm like really
Yeah.
charged up again. And honestly, like, we talk about, you know, creating these days in which we really focus in on working and then like enjoy and then focus in on working. Like today I just want to grind. Like I just want to be in my laptop, like putting things in place, getting organized and
Yeah.
really getting ready to execute. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed a lot of people, a lot of my friends who are either in the content creation realm or even just some influencers I follow, everyone's been kind of taking a step back from like posting and like really being out there with whatever they're working on. I feel like everyone's just needed like a little bit of reflection, and maybe that's the holidays.
I think that's the holidays and
Yeah,
the end
absolutely,
of the year.
absolutely.
Definitely, that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is there really to post it like? Imagine if you're at your family and just like your brother's an influencer and
Yeah.
it's just like, all right, for the gram. You're like, fuck out of here.
I feel like
bro.
that used to be a thing though. I feel like
Really?
Instagram used to pop off on like Christmas
Really?
Day and
I
like
could
New
see
Year's
that.
Eve. Like people were wanting to share like what they were doing. But I personally like I've really, really valued just slowing down to then kind of be like, all right, how can I do this better? How can I put content out in a better way that's more valuable and more real to who I am? Because you know it's important to start, and I think consistency is also important.
Yeah.
But sometimes we can get too stuck in the consistency and
That's why you
start
need
to
balance.
lose value.
Uh-huh.
And my goal, like I becoming famous or you know gaining a following or clout from social media is like it was probably my goal in like high school and college.
Right. I think
Now
it's
like I just want to
everyone's.
provide real value.
Yeah. I could give a fuck about
Yeah,
getting famous.
Exactly. It's exactly that because honestly, like I think about this a lot, and this past week was definitely a huge reminder of that. Like I'm living my dream life in a large sense.
Yeah.
I really, really am. I'm traveling with the people I love the most in the world, except my parents. I wasn't able to see them this past week, but we're in Aruba soon.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing incredible things. I'm meeting new people. You know, I have the love of my life to do it all with. Like, everything's amazing. And now it's just like, okay, what do I want to do next? And it's
Yeah.
like, I want to help people live this kind of way because you really can. You really can. You can start your own company. You can pursue your dreams. You can travel the world even during a pandemic.
Right. Yeah. Facts. You and I both have done so much traveling in the past 2 years.
And I think it's cool too because you and I, we have all these cool experiences, we do all these cool things, but sometimes it's hard to like pinpoint exactly how we got here because we kind of just been along for this ride. Like I don't think you and I 3 years ago hanging out in an attic we did see ourselves here, and it makes perfect sense. But sometimes it's hard to like, it's like, wow, like we're here, we're doing this.
Yeah. I've always had aggressively big dreams.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
from the jump.
I've just always known that I'd be doing cool things.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, okay, well, like, how do I actually conceptualize all that's happened in 3 years? And
it's like, how do you enjoy those fruits too?
Yeah.
Because like I've always known I was gonna be a millionaire. Like people would have told me I was gonna be a millionaire when I was like 10 years old. And it's like, all right, now I'm here. And I've always known I was gonna make music. I remember like being in the back of my mom's blue fucking Jeep Cherokee or whatever it was. And I
feel
actually
like everyone's mom had a Jeep Cherokee.
Everyone's mom had a Jeep Cherokee. And
Did you ever have a
radio was
minivan?
always too loud.
Did your mom ever have a minivan?
No.
Oh
thank
my
God.
gosh.
Thank God.
Quick minivan hype. Julie had the mom minivan of all mom minivans. This thing was huge and
Could fit an
had
entire school.
TVs on the
Really?
back of the
Wow.
seats.
I was always jealous of those kids.
On the back of the seats, or I think it came down from the ceiling actually.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the old school ones came like they
I
really
think
came
they
down from the ceiling. Yeah.
And there was one in the front and one in the back
Yeah.
too, so we could fit like 6 kids. Julie would be like whipping us up to like water country. We'd have like Shrek on the TV.
Yeah. One of my friends had one of those when I was a kid.
And
One of my
God bless
very
her
few
too.
friends.
Like it would be on the radio.
Huh?
The
The sound. Oh yeah, I know. I remember when I got in those cars, I was like, "You guys must be loaded."
Yeah.
It's hilarious to think about.
It's the ugliest car
For
ever.
like a $20,000 like
Oh
shitty
my
minivan.
God. And every time, because my mom would get a new car like she'd lease it, so like every 3 years or whatever, we get a new one. And this just shows how emotional I've always been. I would like cry on the last day of that car. Like I'd be in the back seat and I'd be like tearing up, like looking out the window and
my
shit.
God.
Like this is the last day. in
I
this
used to
car.
take your tears so seriously,
Oh my gosh, now.
and now I'm like me and your brothers will like both joke about it too now. It's like you'll be crying about like you dropped a fucking cookie on the ground, and like here come the waterworks.
I don't cry.
let
I
'em go.
cry about very, very emotional things.
No, I know you do.
Give a better example. I cry at like,
I mean, the end of Disney is a great.
yeah.
example. Even I was about to cry at the end of Disney
Yeah.
this year. Like that was
Yeah.
bad.
Those emotions are real. If I'm crying, I could still use a hug.
I still give you a hug.
Yeah.
You're about
But
to,
your
you're
story.
looking like you're crying right now.
Nah, I'm good right now. But sometimes I'm also embracing my tears so much more.
Yeah, no, I mean everyone has like a different like response
Yeah.
to emotions. Like
When-
some people's are more physical than others.
Oh, absolutely. And I just feel like a motherfucker too. I remember being a kid and my mom would cry at like a movie or like something nice happening. I'd be like, Mom, like stop, don't cry. Because I thought she was sad.
Yeah.
And so like I literally realized this a year ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are actually happy tears. And now if I'm crying, I'm like, oh, like I cry at Chris Stapleton like every time, every single time I go. But your story, back of the car.
Yeah, back of the car. I remember some song. So something I used to do is like when a song was on, I was just kind of bored in the back of the car, and if I had my eyes open, I had like tics running just from like all the external stuff. So I just like shut my eyes and listen to music. I'd always like imagine myself like singing whatever song was going down. And when I was I remember like one moment I was like, yeah, I could totally see myself being like 25 years old, like a little bit of facial hair, just like living in like New York City or some like nice like high rise, like making music. And it's hilarious. Like that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. And like now it's all right. I'm like, I've got the money.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing the things that like I actually just enjoy doing. But now it's like, how do you like optimize your day? That's like, because sometimes like I feel like I had more fun when it was like when I was broke and I like wasn't. Like,
Sometimes,
doing
yeah.
anything, you know.
Because we have so much freedom. Sometimes it's almost stressful. And it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like we have so much freedom. And this is important because we've gained all this freedom monetarily and financially. And now we have these huge dreams and goals. And sometimes working towards those, it's like, oh, we're making a new job for ourselves. And like, that's not the
Yeah,
point.
I know. Sometimes I wish I could tell myself that. Just enjoy those moments more. Like they're always there too. Like you can always get them back. Like I just think about, like Jonathan coming home from like a 12-hour Trader Joe's shift, and me having been chilling in the attic, at Maple Road all day and just like reading books and, that I was like the investment of a person back then. I was like, like I didn't have a job. Like it was like get good so we can be good type thing. And that's why I ended up making the business. I was like, I know music's going to take like 5 years. Like I need us to be on faster than that. Minimum 5 years, like probably 10 at that rate we were going. But, I remember him coming back from a long shift and we just got wrecked on some weed and we put in some Kung Pao cauliflower chicken, whatever, from like Trader Joe's. And we watched, I forget what the show was, but it was like some show on Netflix. And we're just, passing the vape, getting high. And like we finished one. And then I was like, all right, like we should probably like, go to bed or whatever. And I remember he looked at me, he's like, I'm down to rip another one, my guy. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we just watched another one. And like, or like we'd finish a shift at Bertucci's and we'd get an ultimate Bertucci, get, have like however many slices and play, I forget the name of this game, but we play like a little game on like Xbox or whatever, just get a little stoned, just talk about things. Like that was fun. And that's kind of like
Are you saying you didn't appreciate those moments enough?
I definitely appreciated them, but no, I didn't appreciate the moments enough because I had nothing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the message right here is like, if
sure.
you think you have nothing, like if you have something like that, that's actually valuable because like I don't actually get to do that with Jonathan that
That's
much.
huge. Can you say that again? Summarize that a bit more.
In the moment when I was like 22 and perpetually stressed and I was very broke, I was $60K in debt with like $1,000 and, very minimal cash flow. I still had things that I miss now. Like the things I was talking about at the beginning of this of like, I kind of need to like bring in that relaxation, that like just let myself have a little fun here when I'm in work mode. Let me play the game. Like I work my ass off all day and I'm super disciplined. Like let me get stoned and play fucking Pokemon or Zelda or whatever. Like I have no shame about it. It makes me happy. And I know it's just dopamine triggering, but like that's leads me to go like that's what dopamine does. It like leads you to go towards more goals. So to like bring it home is like if you're in that spot where you're 22, 23 or however old,
16.
and or 16, whatever, and you just don't have that much, like you probably have stuff that when you do achieve the goal that you're thinking about, you might not have as much when you get there. Because like I don't have as much time with Jonathan as I did when I was 22 and I lived with him. And granted, our relationship's like better now than it was then, of course, and our life is better. But I still miss those days just like sitting around doing nothing and just hanging out outside, laying in the grass at Maple Road on a nice summer day, or like going to the beach, even though it wasn't like perfectly executed. Like things are definitely better now, but like I definitely miss some of those days.
It's nostalgia.
It's nostalgia, yeah.
It's nostalgia. I feel like how you feel about that is how like I strongly feel that way about like childhood sometimes, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing, and we can't beat ourselves up about not enjoying that enough because we should just be grateful that it was so awesome.
Oh yeah,
you know.
I don't beat myself up at all.
Yeah. I just find the mind sometimes wants to be sad about something. So I notice this a lot with nostalgia. Yeah, because sometimes I'll be like, I even feel myself like tearing up a little bit. Like when I think about like childhood or like Christmas or Disney, right? It can feel, oh my God.
Here come the waterworks.
Oh my God, we were just talking about this.
Splash Mountain.
Oh my God, just let them come out a little bit.
Yeah, let them
we
rip.
Can feel... it feels sad because like our childhood was so awesome and like the mind can make you feel sad that it's over, but in reality
it's just getting going.
In reality, like say I had a shitty childhood and no one's childhood is perfect, but say it was like really bad, like let your mind go there.
Yeah,
really
lots of
bad
trauma and difficulty. Yeah,
you could be like, oh, like I'm unhappy now because I had a tough childhood, or you can be like, I'm unhappy now because I'm not a kid anymore, and it's just like you need to tell your mind like, fuck that noise, fuck that game, because that's not how it is. It's all love and it's all gratitude. Instead, you can flip that switch and say, I am so grateful I had such a beautiful childhood, and that has allowed me to make the relationships I have now with my parents and my siblings and others. Or I had a tough childhood, and it made me who I am today because I'm an independent motherfucker, and I can take on the world,
Yeah, I love that.
It's really just finding the good. It's finding the good. Phenomenal combo.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, that's so beautiful. But like, think about it too. Is when we have these awesome memories, like we just got back. So for people that don't know, let's give them a little context. Like we just got
Yeah.
back. I don't think anyone knows, but like we just got back from Florida
Yeah.
on like a New Year's bender with pretty much all your family friends and your family, like your brothers and like the extended family, who's like not actually cousins, but like our
We're
cousins.
all like cousins, yeah.
Yeah, just like total like family vibe.
Not for nothing though, I've gotten closer to Brian, the Souzas, all of them, like around the same time that you came in. So like you've been very
Yeah, totally. But like we just got back from a trip with the family of like 9, and then we separated into a group of 4, which is me, you, and then your 2 brothers.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why that trip was so special for you, because like you're very nostalgic about your childhood, and like you did have your parents created like a bubble of a fantasy world for you, from what I understand.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's why it is so nostalgic. And like I have nostalgia too,
Yeah.
but like you get like more emotional about childhood than I do.
Yeah.
And you recreated that this trip. It's nothing to be sad about. Like, oh, like all those times I had with my bros and just the fam and like chilling and doing whatever.
Yeah.
And like the
It's honestly
fireplace.
better now.
Like, yeah, guess what? We couldn't afford a $7,000 fucking yacht when we were 8 years old. That shit was amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, and I
You
got to
had
have
everyone
you
there.
there too.
Yeah,
And
you
like,
got to have everyone there and have like a
Exactly.
way better day.
exactly.
And then we'll be nostalgic about this time,
Mm-hmm.
probably in like, realistically, probably not a couple months, but like
Yeah.
10 years from now, we'll be like, oh, damn, yo, you remember that yacht? But by that time, we'll own the damn yacht and
Yeah.
we'll be on the thing, like, you know,
Yeah.
however many times. And it's just,
Right.
I never want to let myself get sad
About-
about the past,
Yeah, especially good memories.
especially good memories. Yeah.
It's like, oh, here was a beautiful moment. Let's be sad about
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's kind of, I feel like part of me gets that, like, where part of me
I
does that.
know.
And that's
No,
why I'm
me
saying, like,
too.
I want to take that, those nostalgic moments from, like, just my childhood nostalgia. Like, I
Yeah.
can literally recreate that in a heartbeat. I already have it. I already have it fucking scheduled this week. Like, I'm hanging out with
Exactly.
Jonathan. Like, we're
Exactly.
having a studio day. Like, we're playing some games. Like, it's
Exactly.
literally scheduled in. Like, it's
Exactly.
happening in like 2 days.
Fuck yeah. And
know,
I
that's
think that's
cool.
such an important feeling. Okay, this is where it comes somewhat full circle to feeling your way through life. If you're feeling nostalgic about something, if you're feeling sad about a past happy memory, how can you implement that kind of memory into your present life? You know, if
So
you,
I'm saying it's really not that hard.
it's really not that hard, and it's the same thing with like, oh, I'm jealous that she's doing this. I'm jealous that they have that. That's a sign of something you want. Work towards that. Oh, I'm nostalgic about the past. I'm sad that's over. How can you bring that back? And obviously, you can't bring everything back. Like I used to, and still kind of do.
I don't think you would want to either.
Right. I still get kind of nostalgic sometimes about like being on the Wakefield High School dance team or like at the dance studio of Wakefield. Like that was a phenomenal experience I had that I'll never have again. And some things are meant to be that way, you know? But like I can still dance if I want to, and I can still build teams and make new friends and push myself to compete in different kind of ways and be on a stage if I want to. So I think it's just important to recognize what you value from your childhood nostalgia and implement that into your day-to-day.
What do you value from your childhood nostalgia?
Which part? Disney or
Well,
dance?
it's just something you can implement in your day to day. Like you're not gonna implement
Yeah.
fucking Disney World in your day to day.
Of course not.
Maybe like following the food blog is the next best thing. But like what's something like not
Yeah.
ridiculous, like
Right.
like a once a year, or like
Yeah.
we go to Disney. Like what's something that you-
Honestly, the best way that when it comes to like family nostalgia, is just maintaining like phenomenal relationships
with the fam.
with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just being like making one-on-one time for all of them, checking in with them. And in the past year or so, I feel like I've gotten a lot closer with all of them. And it's because I've been working on the individual relationships. It can be really easy to look at your family as like one block, right? And you're like, okay, well, you know, here I am in this block. And like, either you feel like my brothers are closer, or like my dad and my brother. Like, no, like just your family. But it's all individual. It's all individual. So that's been a great way for me. And honestly, Disney movies. I love watching Disney movies too. Or like, I feel like I implement a lot of nostalgia from my childhood. Like the way we do up Christmas. We still have our fucking Christmas tree up, you know? Like,
Yeah, our tree looks gorgeous right now. He's dying, but like
looks
he
really
looks.
good.
He's a prom kings
Prom
don't
king.
die. Prom kings are forever,
Yeah.
baby.
So I feel like the way I implement my nostalgia from my childhood stems from the way my parents just have done up everything so big for us. Like, you talk about how we lived in this fantasy world bubble. We've really been really big on being really core to our people, you know, knowing who our extended family is and are, and doing the most with things like Christmas, vacations, and
Yeah.
and also, like, I love hosting things. I love bringing people together. That's been just surrounding myself with people that I love, and then also making special moments. I feel like I constantly have something to look forward to. We're constantly creating really awesome life moments.
That's really what it is. Like, you're
Yeah.
creating these moments that
Yeah.
lead to future nostalgia.
Exactly.
That's a cool way to think about it. Is like,
Exactly.
how can we create future nostalgia?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's important to recognize, just as we have nostalgia about things that have already happened, like, we'll be nostalgic about this someday. Like, we might not always have this apartment,
I was
right?
just thinking we'll be nostalgic about this place.
We will be.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless we keep it forever.
We might keep it forever. Side note, I would love if, like, he'll probably be the first out of your family. I would love if Billy would, like, live in this apartment and he was,
Oh my
like,
God, that'd be sick.
just down the hall or some shit. That'd be
Yeah.
so cool.
I would love to get Billy in the Hub 50
Yeah,
house.
that'd be fun. Just because, like, you could just work on that relationship. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, it's good to, like, I think we all have, like, the value of, like, we all kind of like to be alone,
Yeah.
but, like, also, like, really enjoy being with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that would just be
Billy
cool.
moving to the city will be awesome. The fact that we've gotten so close, and he mainly lives in Rhode Island right now,
Yeah,
is
I know.
really dope.
That goes to show you too, like, no matter where somebody lives, you still get really close with them.
Yeah, just keep planning, you know, yacht trips and
Yeah.
inviting them, and
And, like, yeah, oh, well, that's,
Just kidding.
yeah, of course.
Before that, I was including him and doing the most marketing, and
Yeah, and
it's been
just,
like a 2-year thing.
a text goes a long way.
Oh, hell yeah, it does.
Like, look at like me and Tyler.
Right.
Like, dude lives in California.
Yeah.
I've probably hung out with that dude in person, like, what, like, maybe 5 times
Maybe.
over, like, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But you can grow a lot just talking to someone on the phone or texting them. Like,
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
real conversations. And then